Looking for these better days.
It is Wednesday, March 4th. I'm Scott Seidenberg. Here's what you need to know to make today a better day. A successful debut for the brand new NBA Game Center up on betterday.com. College basketball systems coming through, and the model stays hot. Plus, we have NFL news to get to, the World Baseball Classic. So much to do, so little time. We jump right in. Mackenzie Rivers joins me on this episode of Better Day, presented by FanDuel. And Mackenzie, let's start in the NBA, where we unveiled yesterday our brand new NBA Game Center up on betterday.com, powered by the analytics folks at Dunks and Threes. And I got to be honest, man, for the first day of kind of looking at the game center to formulate some picks, man, it was awesome.
It's awesome to have everything in one place when you're looking at the game. It kind of gives you a snapshot of what the analytics say the total is going to be, what the spread is going to be, if there's any edges, and especially the player props. Seeing like an entire box score, like one of these things may not be correct. And if you say, okay, well, I think this 19 points is going to be spread out through the rest of the box score, it gives you a great visual apparatus to attack some plays like we did with the LeBron prop under 21.5, no sweat, had 21.
Yeah, okay, Mackenzie, no sweat. He had 19 points. He had what do you have, 16 points in the first half or 18?
Well, yeah, we know he's a first half player.
Yeah.
Relax.
Yeah, relax. LeBron James did the bulk of his scoring in the first half. It was a nice sweat, but when it was all said and done, he finished with 21, and he goes under 21.5, and the projections did have him going under 21.5. And yes, for those who haven't checked it out yet, you're listening to this pod, you're thinking, well, I go to betterday.com all the time. We have made the NBA Game Center free for this week. So it is normally exclusive for Better Day Insider and Premium members, but for the rest of this week, we are giving everybody a free preview. And here's what you're going to see. When you click on the NBA tab up on betterday.com, the NBA Game Center will load, and you will see the estimated plus minus and efficiency metrics projections on every game. So you will see, for example, let's say last night, Phoenix against Sacramento last night was the late game, right? Up on the Game Center, you would have seen Phoenix with a projected score of 116.4, Sacramento a projected score of 107.7, meaning the projection is Phoenix by 8.7 points. Well, what was the spread last night, Mackenzie? The spread was Phoenix minus 9.5, so the projection pretty close to the game spread, right? Which you're going to find some of the times, but then, you might find edges on the total, things like that. Also on those game boxes, you'll see the best line available from the major online books. So it might say, hey, the best line is at FanDuel on Phoenix. Hey, the best line is on another book here on Sacramento. But here's the beautiful part about this. You click on each game, and it brings you inside the game numbers, where you can find the projected box score from both teams, and then you click on the player props tab, and it gives you the biggest edges in the prop market with the best lines available from the online books. Mackenzie, where are you going to find all of this in one spot with all the information at your fingertips?
Well, that's simple, Scott. Only at betterday.com. It's the only place.
No, I'm serious. Like I know, like we're tooting our own horn here, but there's different sites out there that compare prop lines, but all they tell you is like, oh, the hit rates, right? This guy's done this in this games. We're giving you the true analytic projections, which other sites do as well, but now we're putting it with the best prop lines available so you can see the true edges that you have in the market. And as an experiment last night, Mackenzie, here's what I did. And this is how I would recommend people using the NBA Game Center when looking at the prop projections. I went through every game and every prop stat, and I said, you know what? I'm going to pick the top 5 or so the biggest edges in the prop markets, and I'm going to have some fun. I'm going to put together a little parlay. Now, I don't recommend people bet parlays, but let's say you were putting together like an underdog lineup or something like that, right? Maybe this is a way that you can take advantage of the Game Center. For me, I was just like, hey, Why not? Let's give it a try. I have one of those no sweat tokens, right, on MGM. I'm like, you know what? It's a free bet. Let me put them together. Well, perhaps Mackenzie, I should have just picked 5 instead of 6 because I went 5-1 last night using the NBA Game Center prop projections. The leg number 1, Chris Middleton under 13.5 points, cashed. Leg number 2, Jalen Duren over 17.5 points, cashed. Leg 3, Day'Ron Sharpe over 6.5 rebounds, cashed. Leg 4, Ty Jerome under 16.5 points, cashed. Leg number 5, Mark Williams under 8.5 rebounds, cashed. And leg number 6, Zion Williamson under 20.5 points. And unlike the LeBron James sweat where it did come through in the end, this one did not. I thought it might have a chance, though, because Zion had 20 points when the Lakers went on. They went on like that 14-0 run late in the fourth quarter. Yep. And I was thinking, hey, maybe Zion just doesn't, maybe the Pelicans just don't score for the rest of the game. But he did score 2 more baskets, finished with 24 points. But 5-1 using the NBA Game Center to find prop edges yesterday.
And the any model is going to be as good as the underlying metrics that's used. And I'll just tout dunks and threes a little bit. The Bayesian statistics that they use are very advanced, and you could go into the About page and you can look at them, and I think they do an excellent analysis, which combines pretty much how good a team is versus all the different components that go into it. And what I especially like about it, and through the 5 years that I've looked at it religiously, is that it's not the same as the market. If you have a great analytics website that spits out what the market says every single time, it's not going to be as successful. But dunks and threes, for example, had Steph is better than LeBron for the last 10 years, like each and every year. So it does things that are a little bit contrarian, where I've found a lot of value in it. That's why I recommended it.
Yeah, so it's a great website, and we're using the info there to power our NBA Game Center, which, again, free preview for everybody, not just BetterDay.com members, free preview for everybody up on BetterDay.com. Check it out, see what you like about it for this week only, and then at the end of the week, it will be exclusive for Better Day Insider and premium members. To learn how you can become a Better Day Insider or premium member, scroll down and click the link on our homepage to learn how you can elevate your betting game. Well, let's talk about some of the other results last night in the NBA, Mackenzie. The battle in the Eastern Conference goes to the Cavaliers as they beat the Pistons 113-109, and it was really the second quarter that was the difference. Cavs with a 29-21 second quarter, and it seemed like the Pistons just were never able to recover from it. They had a good push there in the fourth quarter, but Cleveland held on for the victory.
Yeah, I mean, if Cade Cunningham gets all the flowers for being the number 1 seed in this conference and being Jason Kidd 2.0 with the jump shot, this is now 2 big marquee matchups against the Spurs and now against the Cavs, where it's kind of like on him. Most nights you're going to have to give him 25 to give your team a chance, and 4 for 16 shooting is not going to get it done.
Mm-hmm. Speaking of the Spurs, they beat the Sixers 131-91. Victor Wembanyama, a ho-hum performance, just 10 points, 8 boards, 4 assists. He had 6 blocks. What are you going to do? Tyrese Maxey, we played that over 3-pointers props. He had the attempts. He just didn't hit them. 2 of 6 from 3-point range. Would have been nice to make that 4 of 7,
It was too big
like
of a blowout. I mean, he was 2 for 6 after the first half. So I was like, all right,
exactly.
Well, he's on pace to take 12. But I'm kicking myself because I mentioned it on yesterday's pod. It's too strong of a trend to ever not bet on, let alone bet against. Team wins 11 straight. They lose, especially if it's a team like the Sixers that you can kind of name your score on with how injured they are. They just rolled. So that trend continues. So do what I say, not what I do.
Yeah. That's it. No, it's a great point. And just like you said, Pelicans first quarter as well with Zion.
Exactly.
So do as Mackenzie says, not as Mackenzie does. Let's take a look at the schedule tonight in the NBA. We have some teams playing on the second of a back-to-back. We'll take a look at the odds courtesy of our friends over at FanDuel. The Oklahoma City Thunder are in Madison Square Garden to take on the Knicks. OKC laying 4.5, total of 221.5. Both of these teams coming off of wins yesterday. The Knicks a 111-95 win in Toronto. Meanwhile, the Thunder got a 116-108 win in Chicago.
Model says the Knicks. I tend to lean that way. I feel like this is a close game. If it was a fully revved up Thunder team like they've been on average the last couple of years, but I still think SGA a few games back is not. I mean, he's actually, I guess he's listed as doubtful or questionable for this game. But yeah, I wouldn't give the Thunder their full power rating that they deserve over the last couple of years quite yet.
Okay. The Hornets, who we keep singing their praises, they are in Boston to take on the Celtics. Celtics laying 6.5.
The student comes back versus the master. Charles Lee, formerly of the bench of the Celtics, comes back. I feel like this is a playoff-like atmosphere. I feel like both coaches know each other, know what they're going to do. Maybe look at the under in this game.
Okay, total of 214.5, Celtics and Hornets. Jazz are at the Sixers, where Philly, a 9.5-point home favorite. Portland in Memphis, the Blazers laying 6.5 on the road. The Hawks visit the Bucks. Milwaukee, a 1-point favorite. We saw Giannis play in that first game back. Does it now change your rating on the Bucks? And what do you think about them laying 1 at home here against the Hawks?
Even though he's a big man, I still think he falls into the category of you got to let ball-dominant players get a game or two under their belt before you give them the full power rating adjustment. Because you have to decide what you're going to do with the basketball. They didn't really know what they were going to do with the Celtics, and they got down 20 points in the second quarter. There's still pride at stake. Doc Rivers, Giannis. This is an insulting line to be a dog versus the Hawks at home.
Well, no, they're 1-point favorites.
Okay, well, yeah, it's close enough.
Yeah.
I thought it was 1-point dogs. So less insulting, but I would still...
Less insulting, but still insulting.
Still lean towards the Bucks. I mean, this is one of the 20 greatest players of all time. I think. I mean, he hasn't played like it recently, but he'll show some people some stuff.
Yeah, no, that's a good point. And then finally, we have the Pacers at the Clippers, where LA is a 12.5-point favorite. Let's transition to college basketball, Mackenzie, where the model stays hot. And yesterday, I only gave out one play on the college basketball model because, as I explained to our members in our Better Day community chat, I wanted to be more diligent with the thresholds for the model, right? And I didn't want to put out, 3 to 4 plays. And instead of doing that, I said, you know what? Let me just isolate the top play here, right? Because now there might be some days where there's more than one play. There might be some days where there's no plays. But last night was one where there was one play that was like head and shoulders above everyone else, and the other ones were kind of like borderline. And I said, I'm not going to push it. Not going to push it. I think some of those borderline plays actually cashed, though. A couple of them lost, but good thing we didn't play them. I think it would have been a mixed bag, like 1-1 or 2-2. But the play that we did give out, Towson and Stony Brook under 136.5, was a cash. So the model continues to cook since we started publishing the model for BetterDay.com Insider and Premium members. It has gotten off to a 6-2 start, Mackenzie Rivers.
Yeah. Let's go.
Yeah, it feels good.
So here's the question: Do you tweak it, or I mean, do you wait? I mean, obviously you wait till it stops hitting at 75%.
Yeah.
But whenever there's a model that's tweaked, I'm like, wait a minute. So how can you tell me it's 60% when it's different now than it was 2 months ago?
I will admit something. I tweaked it yesterday, which is why which is why I was able to isolate only one solid best bet, as opposed to, giving out 3 to 4 plays. I think if I didn't tweak it yesterday and throw in a couple extra parameters, it would have spit out like 3. Because you know what? Because I did it the night before, and it spit out like 4 or 5 plays. And then I said, let me wake up in the morning. Let me think. Let me sit on this.
Coffee. Yeah.
Let me sit on this and see what we can do. And I tweaked some of the things, and it came out with that one play. So curious to see what it does each and every day moving forward here. And then if we have to make adjustments for conference tournament games with neutral sites, and then, of course, into the NCAA tournament as well. But so far, very, very excited about this college basketball model. Also very excited, Mackenzie, about the systems that keep cashing. Yesterday, we had 2 system plays that became 1 system play. The 2 system plays, which literally would have gone 2-0 if one of them stayed a system play, but instead they went 1-0. It was the unranked favorites, the unranked home favorites against ranked opponents. Now, on the overnights and earlier in the day, we had two potential system plays, with Georgia being an unranked home favorite against number 16 Alabama, and UCLA being an unranked home favorite against number 9 Nebraska. Well, Alabama flipped to the favorite, so that one got disqualified, but it didn't matter. Georgia wins outright 98-88. Georgia beats number 16 Alabama, so that's kind of like a half a win for the system, I guess. And then the one system play that held was UCLA against number 9 Nebraska. For the fourth time this year, Nebraska ranked in the top 10, but a dog
Who's ranking
on
them?
the road against an unranked team.
Why are we ranking them this high?
UCLA throttles Nebraska 72-52. I mean,
we'll be out of the top 10 tomorrow, I'll tell you that.
Get out. Just get out of the top 10. Elsewhere, we had Elsewhere, Arizona State upset number 14 Kansas 70-60. TCU upset number 10 Texas Tech 73-65. And number 19 Miami of Ohio 30-0 now on the season, Mackenzie, with a 74-72 victory over Toledo. I did a project yesterday for Fez, and he wanted to know, like, if we plugged in an average to above average team into Miami of Ohio's schedule.
Right. That's a very interesting question.
Would they lose a game? Like, when people say that this team should not be in the tournament, right, because their schedule stinks and whatnot, like, what's the likelihood of an average team going 30-0? And, the whole point is that what they've done is it's improbable to go 30-0.
Yeah.
And so I did it multiple ways. We used Ohio State as the example. All right. Ohio State 35th in KenPom, I believe. We used Ohio State as the baseline. And maybe Ohio State was actually too good to use as a comparison, but I used Ohio State. And what I did was I took Ohio State's entire KenPom, first I did KenPom and then I did a Haslam study. So I took KenPom first and I did Ohio State's, season metrics. And then I looked at Miami of Ohio's schedule. And on KenPom, they do the strength of schedule rating. They do the adjusted average offensive efficiency, the average adjusted defensive efficiency, all that stuff. So plugged in Ohio State's metrics into the strength of schedule numbers for Miami of Ohio, and it came out that, over a 30-game sample, Ohio State would be roughly 28-2, right? 29-1, maybe. Okay.
So Miami of Ohio is better than that.
Yes.
Congratulations.
So that was the first one. Pointed out, 28-2 to 29-1. And then I ran a different query. I looked at every team. So on Haslam, they actually have the breakdown of every team's metrics during the season. And so I plugged in Ohio State's numbers with every game for Miami of Ohio. And it spit out again a pretty much like 28.2, record. So it said that the close games that would matter is Akron. The game versus Akron would be the closest one, with Ohio State having like a 60% win probability. And then a couple of games that had like 87 to 89%. And then the rest of the schedule, it was over 93% win probability. So let's say they lose the Akron game and then they lose one of the other games that was, below the 90% threshold. We're talking 29-1. We're talking 28-2. So both using two different sets of metrics, it came up with an average team, if you want to say average, maybe above average, right? Ohio State, that would have gone 28-2 or 29-1. But Miami of Ohio is 30-0, and yet people like Bruce Pearl say that they do not belong in the NCAA tournament if they do not win the MAC conference tournament.
That's crazy.
Yep.
I mean, there's 64 teams. A team that goes something and one. I mean, they could be an Ivy League schedule, and they should still at least be in the tournament. That's a crazy thing to say, in my opinion.
Yep. It's absolutely wild. Let's take a look at the schedule tonight in college hoops, where Mackenzie Rivers, I think we have another system play.
Rev it up.
Unranked SMU is currently a 1.5 point favorite against number 22 Miami. Should this hold, this would apply as the unranked home favorite system, which after yesterday's win improves now to 14-8 straight up in ATS. And if you included Georgia, which I didn't, that would be 15-8 straight up in ATS, but I'm not. But the other thing is, Mackenzie, is that game went under last night also, the UCLA game. So the unders in these games are now 16-6. 16-6 to the under, and the home favorites 14-8 straight up and against the spread. So that could be SMU tonight, a 1.5 point favorite at home against number 22 Miami. Elsewhere in your top 25 schedule, all these odds courtesy of our friends over at the FanDuel Sportsbook. You have number 20 Arkansas, 7.5 point favorites at home against Texas. Number 25 St. Louis laying 24.5 against Loyola Chicago. Number 15 Purdue, 11.5 point favorites at Northwestern. And number 7 Houston laying 15.5 at home against Baylor.
Nobody does selling better than Shopify. Shopify is the home of the #1 checkout on the planet. And the not-so-secret, with Shop Pay that boosts conversions up to 50%, meaning way less carts go abandoned and way more sales going through. So if you're into growing your business, your commerce platform better be ready to sell wherever your customers are scrolling or strolling. On the web, in your store, in their feed, and everywhere in between. Businesses that sell more, sell on Shopify. Upgrade your business and get the same checkout that Skims uses. Sign up for your $1 per month trial period for 3 months at shopify.com/Westwood1, all lowercase. Go to shopify.com/Westwood1 to upgrade your selling today. Shopify.com/Westwood1.
College basketball is nonstop. Big games, tight spreads, momentum swings every night. And now FanDuel is giving you a way to turn that energy into bigger wins. With the College Basketball Parlay Profit Boost, here's how it works. Build any college hoops parlay you like. The early tip, the rivalry game, the ranked matchup, the late night West Coast shootout, mixed spreads, totals, props, whatever fits your read of the slate. Then just apply your profit boost and instantly bump up that potential payout. Go safe, go spicy, go with the team you've been following all season. It's your parlay, your style. Now with more upside behind it. Head to FanDuel.com/believe to get started. FanDuel, play your game. Must be 21 plus and present in select states. For Kansas, in affiliation with the Kansas Star Casino, or 18 plus and present in D.C., Kentucky, or Wyoming. Opt-in required. Minimum 2-leg parlay required. Bonus issued as a non-withdrawable boost builder tokens. Restrictions apply, including any token expiration and max wager amounts. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER or 1-800-MY-RESET. Call 1-888-789-7777 or visit ccpg.org/chat in Connecticut or visit mdgamblinghelp.org in Maryland. Hope is here. Visit gamblinghelplinema.org or call 800-327-5050 for 24/7 support in Massachusetts, or call 877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY in New York. For Louisiana, call 1-877-770-7867.
We have some NFL news, and we'll get to the NHL schedule for tonight here coming up in just a bit. But, Mackenzie, there was big news in the NFL yesterday, and I don't think anyone's surprised, but the Cardinals have announced that they will be releasing Kyler Murray next week. So there was speculation about his future, but now they have informed him, in fact, that he will be released. Where's the best fit for Kyler Murray right now?
So they're not trading him straight up for Mendoza or the #1 pick. I can't believe that was a rumor. Cleveland is pretty crowded. Man, who really doesn't have a quarterback? Minnesota? I think it would be very interesting in Minnesota with KOC, Kevin O'Connell, because J.J. McCarthy played okay for some games in the latter part of the season, but for many of the games, he was the lowest rated quarterback in the league with the bullet. And the other games, the last 2 years, like 16 out of 32, he's not been available at all, or 20 out of 32. So yeah, that's why you fight. That's why you get your GM fired. Mendoza now. Mendoza. Adolfo Mensa.
Adolfo Mensa.
Yeah, I think of that because of Mensa. Yeah, he's back in San Francisco doing some analytics. We appreciate it, but he took one big gamble as his time was the Vikings GM. They failed, or that failed McCarthy. So why not bring in real competition? Like I really wouldn't know who would start week 1 if they were both in camp. Murray and McCarthy.
Mackenzie Rivers, the Oracle, we call him, because one of the offshore books has posted Kyler Murray's next team odds.
Before this podcast, they posted it. Wow, that's impressive.
Yes, the favorite, the Minnesota Vikings plus 150.
Makes a lot of sense.
The second favorite, the New York Jets plus 300. Third favorite, the Miami Dolphins plus 450.
Have they officially moved on from Tua?
They will.
Yeah, they will. Yeah. Exactly. I mean, they're kind of very similar, Kyle Murray and Tua. They had one big season, and they're paid as much as anybody in the league. So, yeah, maybe a change of scenery would do them both good.
Well, speaking of being paid like one of the most in the league, the Colts have used the seldom used, as ESPN.com called it, seldom used transition tag on quarterback Daniel Jones. So here's the situation. If Jones does not sign a competing offer sheet, he would earn a 1-year guaranteed salary of $37.833 million.
That seems low. I mean, isn't he set for life? Didn't he get like $30 million a year from the Giants?
So the Colts basically have the right of first refusal. So like he can get offers from other teams.
Oh, that's what Lamar Jackson got.
Yeah. And then the Colts can like deny it or whatever, do all that stuff.
No one will ever, because the price of getting this guy, not only do you have to put yourself out there, but then you lose picks. I don't think it's ever been used. I don't think it ever will be. It's a way for the team to keep ownership without actually having to use the franchise tag.
Exactly. Elsewhere, Trey Hendrickson will become a free agent as the Bengals do not use the franchise tag on him by the deadline yesterday. The Jets have used the franchise tag on running back Breece Hall. So Breece Hall's tag is the non-exclusive version, $14.293 million, meaning he can negotiate with other teams and sign an offer sheet. And the Jets have the right of first refusal and would receive 2 first-round draft picks as compensation if they decline to match the offer. Yeah. So Breece Hall, a lot of money for a running back, but
hey, you're a Jets fan with some skin in the game. Would you see Bryce Hall team up with Kyler Murray in New York?
Who cares? They're gonna stink anyway.
Said like Larry David himself.
Yeah, exactly. Let's talk hockey. Let's take a look at the schedule for tonight on the ice. Mackenzie Rivers, the Vegas Golden Knights, who still can't figure it out after the Olympic break. And the only game that they won, I don't think it's
they had the
coincidence.
Scabs in.
It was when the Olympic players were not back. Well, the Olympic players are back, and they've lost several in a row. And now they will play the second of a back-to-back here tonight in Detroit against the Red Wings, where Detroit is a -134 favorite. Elsewhere, the Toronto Maple Leafs are in New Jersey to take on the Devils. New Jersey -118. The St. Louis Blues visit the Seattle Kraken. Seattle -142. Islanders are at the Ducks. New York -111. And the Carolina Hurricanes visit the Vancouver Canucks. Carolina, a heavy favorite, -260. A reminder, you can head to betterday.com where we have our brand new NBA Game Center up and running for free. That's right, free $99. Your trial, if you will, to just take a look at some of the cool stuff that we have. And there's plenty more cool stuff coming at betterday.com. Baseball content, World Baseball Classic going on this week. So we will have some baseball content, baseball analytic content as well, and just all tools. It's not just picks up on betterday.com. It's not just picks. It is everything that you need to help become a better, all the tools and resources for you guys to make your own bets and get the information where it would normally take you hours and all these different websites to go around and source it yourself. We have put it all in one place at your fingertips up on betterday.com. Follow us on social media as well. For Mackenzie Rivers, I'm Scott Seidenberg. Here's hoping you make today and every day a better day.
If you like the show, please take a moment to rate, review, and subscribe. It really does help the show to grow. Thank you for listening.